Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to Two Toe Tags Metal Reviews, and today we're getting our first impressions of the brand new Tool album titled Fear Inoculum. 13 years in the making, finally.
Jesus Christ, 13 years.
13 years.
I'm really glad that our channel exists in a time where a new Tool album has been released, because
Crazy.
13 years since 10,000 days. It's only been about 6,000 days.
Yeah, for real.
But, wow. Fear Inoculum, new Tool album. Now, I enjoy Tool. I've listened to a good majority of their albums, and they're really cool. And I listened to the single, which was the title track from this album, and for some reason, I think I only heard it like once or twice. And I enjoyed it in general, you know, but it kind of sounded like typical Tool. It didn't really grasp me except for one part. It was something about the drums. I don't even remember, because like I said, I only heard it like once or twice. Not really much at all. But I generally enjoyed what I heard. But from what I know about this album, every song is like a big adventure.
Yeah, Tool for me is a band that I just generally enjoy. I don't own any of their albums. I never put them on, but if they're on, I like it. I didn't listen to the single that dropped. I was waiting for a video, but video never came. So I'm going to this kind of completely blind, but hey man, Tool's a band I can get into, so.
Yeah, personally, I really like Anima and Lateralis, and even though both of those have a different kind of overall sound to it, from what I know about the title track, this might be more in line with Lateralis and 10,000 Days, but who knows, there's still the entire rest of the album to check out. So we're gonna listen to Fear Inoculum for the very first time in its entirety, and we'll be right back to give you guys our first impressions. Stay tuned.
Hey guys, what's up? We're back. We just listened to Fear Inoculum for the first time in its entirety. And before we get into this, I just want to tell you guys to click the link in the description below. Buy yourselves a t-shirt, one of these cool rad boys right here. We're an unmonetized channel. If you want to support us, that is how you do it. Cheap shirts, good quality, awesome graphic. Check out the link. Without further ado, what did you think of Fear Inoculum?
So Fear Inoculum didn't surprise me in the fact that a lot of it did sound like kind of the latter half of their discography, right? But there was one song that sounded a lot like classic Tool, and that was track number 9. Either this is Tempest,
Seven-Empist?
Seven-Empist, or Sempist.
Seven-Empist.
Either way,
Tempest, but it's got a 7 at the front for the T.
yes.
Weird.
And I don't know why this wasn't track number 7, first of all.
Yeah.
It's got a 7 in it, and it's track number 9. Who cares? This song did... it's hard to comment on why I like this song as much without commenting on the rest of the album. So before I get to that, I'm gonna, take a step back and talk about how the album... Okay, all the tracks are at least 10 minutes long. There are a few tracks that aren't, but those are either interludes or stuff that's assorted, stuff that's not like main songs.
Right.
The kind of issue I felt, and I found that issue with specifically like the worst of that was track number 7, which is Calling Voices, where that song felt like the intro was about 6 minutes long. Like the entire, most of the track is it building up. There's a guitar riff, which all the guitar riffing on this album is awesome. Like I really like the guitar riffing. Danny Carey is probably the biggest highlight of this album because his drumming is phenomenal throughout every single track.
Definitely.
And there is one track where that is extremely relevant, but I will get there. But yeah, Calling Voices, honestly, it took too long to kick up. And then when it pays off, it sounds really cool, the grooves are great, but it's just really too much nothing going on.
Yeah, it's like a 6.5 minute intro, then a 2 minute cool part, and then a 1.5 minute or 2 minute outro.
Yeah, now Tempest doesn't do that. It's like 1 minute max of an intro, and then these guys are just going in, the grooves are great. Maynard's voice sounds great, and it really sounds like a lot of classic Tool. I remember seeing a few people say, before we listened to the album, I saw a few people say, yeah, this is the best track on the album, and now I understand why, because it's so cool, and it's like that. It's a 15-minute song. I think it's the longest one on the album, and it's just great grooves and riffs for the entire 15 minutes.
Agreed.
So the fact that you're able to do that for that long in a single track is impressive, but it kind of sucks that none of the other tracks sound quite like it. That being said, I still enjoyed songs like Invincible, the title track was neat, and Numa was neat, but just based off one listen, it kind of feels like all three of those blend together as a similar thing. Now I feel like all these songs will have elements of them that stand out as individual to me.
Of course.
Throughout the week.
Yeah.
So based on a first listen, it's like, okay, you know, they are all pretty similar, but that's gonna sort itself out. In the title track, I noticed like the drum, that's pretty much where you kind of realize Danny Carey's awesome, like at first, because the drum grooves are great. But there is one specific track, and that's track number 8, Chocolate Chip Trip. Starts out with like these computer noises, like what the hell is going on, whatever. And then Danny Carey just drops one of the coolest drum solos.
He actually goes ham, like
he goes nuts. It's like we're hearing it, I'm like, holy shit, he's putting
and it's
out.
long too.
Yeah, it's like a 5-minute solo.
And he ends it with a gong.
Yeah, it ends
Which is
with
sick.
a gong.
Like,
yeah, such an awesome solo. It was such a cool track, and it's really the highest point. Even though he is the highlight of the album, honestly, like even though the guitars are great, and I noticed some cool stuff with the bass, but not much. But Danny Carey, he kicked ass on this album.
Yeah, totally solid.
That being said, I feel like if I were to comment on a low point, it might be Maynard's voice. Because I feel like on every song other than Tempest, it's kind of the same thing. Almost kind of sounds like what I heard from A Perfect Circle. Just like the melodic, you know, just very open.
Very ambient.
Ambient, which of course it's Tool. Like that's what they do.
Yeah.
I just feel like there's no backbone to it. Which
That's a very
was
good way
there
of
in
putting it,
Tempest.
actually. I was trying to figure out how to word that, but saying there's no backbone to it is actually a very good description of how to put it. Because everything seems so laid back.
Yeah.
Which is not really a bad thing if you're into that, but to have that through the entire album minus one song, maybe minus a couple parts of certain songs, was a little underwhelming.
Yeah.
Right? It loses its punch.
It does.
Right? This is a band and an album that's designed and made for people that are on drugs. I feel strongly about that. I mean, anybody can enjoy it. Of course, anybody can enjoy it, but when you listen to these like interlude tracks like Litany Censor La Pure and Legion Inoculant and even Chocolate Chip Trip, these songs are nothing but an assortment of random noises, right? And they're put together in a song, but it's not really like instruments. It's just like somebody's pressing a bunch of buttons on a freaking switchboard or something.
The first one, the track 3, Litany Contre La Pure, that one, like, it kind of sounded like a synthesizer.
I wrote, sounds like they're just fucking around in the studio.
I mean, that could have been also the case too. You might not be wrong there. Like, who knows?
But to be somebody listening to the album, to have that resonate with you in any way, I think you gotta be tripping out.
It's just like, I don't know, a goofy interlude track. Because that, you know, it was okay. Legion Inoculant, I said it would be cooler if it was the only interlude. Mm-hmm. The last track was disappointing, Mocking Beat, which is just, as you described it as we listened to it, basketball shoe noises.
Yeah,
because it's a mockingbird, but they distort it, so it just sounds like basketball.
I couldn't tell if it was birds or insects or basketball shoes. But I settled on basketball shoes, that's what I settled.
But it's like, imagine if the album just ended with Tempest. That would feel so much more satisfying than just like this meme track afterwards where it's just stupid noises.
Yeah.
Like that would be sick actually, last 2 tracks being Chocolate Chip Trip and Tempest.
That would have been an awesome outro, but I think Culling Voices should have been the last track. Just the way that track was designed and the way it ended, I felt like it could have been a last track.
Yeah, with how much like open space there was, it's
Yeah.
kind of a good way of letting it down. But I mean, it's a song that may grow or shrink, you know, because the cool parts are really cool. It's just there's so much in the way to get there, and if that doesn't grow, then the song's gonna suck.
That's true. But anyways, guys,
That was a long album.
It's a long album, hour and a half long.
90 minutes.
Yeah. So I don't know. We're kind of, I guess, mixed feelings on it.
Yeah, it's got
We like parts, but a lot of it was I don't know, maybe hard to get into.
It's got a lot of cool stuff, I will say that.
It
Like the
does.
grooves and riffs are amazing. Like Tool delivers with that. It just feels like there's a lot of excess stuff that may be difficult to digest over the week. I don't know.
Yeah. With that said, guys, we're gonna listen to it all week long, and we'll be back next week to give you guys our full and final review of Fear Inoculum. But leave a comment below and let us know what you guys think of this album on our first impressions. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. Click the link in the description. Fuck me. Buy a fucking shirt. That's how you support us, guys. I'm Vile Self.
I'm TV Fish.
I'll see you guys on the next one. Later.